Imagine you are standing outside. It is dark. The fire behind you is the only light in the world. Somewhere in that darkness, something is watching. Your body already knows. Your heart is faster. Your palms are already wet. Every muscle is tuned to one frequency. Don't be caught alone. Now, here is the question nobody asks. Why does checking your phone at 2 a.m. feel exactly the same? Let's go back, way back. For most of human history, you lived in a group of about 50 people. That was it, your whole universe. A scientist named Robin Dunbar studied 65 hunter-gatherer societies across the world. He found that the human brain can hold meaningful relationships with, at most, 150 people. Not because we chose it, because the brain simply runs out of capacity at that number. It's a ceiling built into our biology. Your 50-person band was everything. They fed you, protected you, kept you alive through winter. And in return, they watched you, constantly. Were you pulling your weight? Were you honest? Were you someone they could count on when things got dangerous? Your reputation wasn't ego, it was survival infrastructure. Because being removed from the group was not a punishment, it was a death sentence. Think about what alone meant back then. No hunting partner, no one to guard you while you slept, no one to close a wound. A broken ankle wasn't an injury, it was the end. Ancient societies utilized a clear punishment ladder. Gossip first, then shaming, then exile, then execution. The difference between exile and execution? Mostly just time. So the brain built a system that never turned off, that monitored every face in the group, every shift in tone, every glance that lasted a beat too long. This system had one job: don't get kicked out. But here is what people get wrong about our ancestors. They weren't victims of this system. They mastered it. They understood that reputation was a currency, and they spent it with precision. The best hunters didn't just hunt, they shared. Publicly, generously. Because the group remembered who fed them during the last drought, and who didn't. Elders weren't just old. After 40 years inside the same 50-person world, they could read every person in it. Who would hold under pressure? Who would crack? Who was hiding something? And reputation wasn't just local. These groups met seasonally. Your name traveled before you did. This is why humans became the most socially intelligent species on Earth. Not because we are kind by nature, because social intelligence was lethal technology. Reading a room, knowing when to speak, knowing who held power, knowing when to back down and when to push. These weren't soft skills. They were the difference between a bloodline that continued and one that ended. The group wasn't a comfort structure, it was armor. Living, breathing, collective armor. And the cost of maintaining that armor was constant self-monitoring, constant calibration. Your ancestors weren't anxious, they were precise. That tight feeling in your chest when someone doesn't respond to your message, that is the same circuit, tuned to the same frequency. The only difference is what is on the other side of it. Now look at where we are. The village is gone, but the audience is still here. Your brain cannot tell the difference between being judged by your 50-person band and being judged by 50 million strangers. The threat signal is identical. The stress response is identical. The dread is identical. But in the tribe, there was an end to it. Eventually the group signaled, "You are still one of us. You can rest." On the feed, there is no rest. There is only the next post, the next number, the next chance to not be rejected. A like is not a compliment. Your nervous system reads it as a temporary reprieve from exile. And the platforms know this. They didn't create your fear, they found it, studied it across 3 billion users, and built an infinite loop around it. Because a brain that hasn't resolved its social threat will keep scrolling. That is not weakness. That is 300,000 years of survival engineering working exactly as intended. In the wrong world. You are not broken. You are ancient hardware running in an environment built to exploit you. The band hasn't spoken. The night feels long. And somewhere deep in you, a very old part of your brain is still waiting for the verdict. Put the phone down. Sit in the silence. Not because it's peaceful, but because your ancestors knew something we've forgotten. The only judgment that ever mattered came from people who knew your name.